Let's see. I think we might just now. Good morning. Good morning. Let's see. Here we are. Okay. Good morning, quarantiners, TQNers. I think quarantiners sounds better. It is Rise and Shine with Cassandra Renee, and this is Wild Blossom Beacon Coaching. At least that's the name of my business. Is it really that important that you know that? Not really. That's all semantics. But it's important you know me. Why? Because I'm here to get you started with your day so that you can get going in a way that serves you for whatever your goals are, whatever your desires are, whatever it is that you're looking to get a grip on, get a handle on. And in case you don't have a handle on what day it is, it's Wednesday. And on Wednesdays, I like to focus on what is working and maybe what is not necessarily working. So for those of you who are tuning in, I would love for you to say hello. Let me know where in this corner of the States or even the world that you are tuning in and saying hello from. And let me know what has been working for you. I think it's especially important now as we're settling in to, it was just announced yesterday here in the state of Nevada that schools are going to be closed for the rest of the year. It's not even, from what I've been seeing now, and keep me honest here because I haven't done the research. I saw several people post about it last night before I went to bed. So I didn't actually do the research because I don't have any children. And I just woke up a little while ago, so I haven't looked into it. So I don't know if it's including the 2021 school year going into it. Good morning, Damon. Or if it's just for what's left. Obviously, I'm sure it's just for what's left of this year, but if it's going into next year as well, which I'm presuming it is the way I've seen people's posts. So in any event, it looks like quarantine is being prolonged for, at the very least, a few more months in Nevada. Definitely, at least as far as school goes, it sounds like it could be through till December, which is shocking. So we shall see about that. I'll have to do some research about that. But I bring that up to say that more news, right? A month ago, it was every single day, even every couple of hours, it was more news. And every time we got news, it was changing constantly. Well, now it seems that we've kind of settled into this, what everyone's calling a new normal. And even though that seems to be the case, it seems like there's this wave that's come over us where there's this wave of like sadness and frustration and anger, and it's like the second wave, like the ocean tides, they come in, and at first it's like, oh my gosh, quarantine is happening and coronavirus is happening and like all this craziness. And then like the calm started happening, right? The tide pulled back and we're like, okay, so this is life now. All right, adjusting. And now it's like this next wave is coming back through, and we're like, even though there might not necessarily be all these changes happening, it's this wave of emotions where people are just, we haven't been in this situation before, let alone a situation that's kept us forcibly in this predicament, in this mental state, in this way of life for a certain length of time. So it's starting to weigh on us. So I think it's extra important to really, it's always a good idea to highlight what's working and what's not working in any scenario, whether it's business, whether it's relationships, friendships. It's always good to go back and reassess and say, well, hey, what's working, what's not working? Because you can always get an idea of where you are and how you can continue the good things and discard, or not really necessarily discard, but move on from and improve the things that are not so great. And especially in this time, I think it's really important to focus on what really is working, so that, don't keep it to yourself, share it, because you never know who can benefit from something that you discovered. And I think a lot of people are discovering new things daily from the increased social interaction online, with the, increased, I'm bored. What else can I get into? What's this new thing I can do? Or who's this person? What are they talking about? Or, oh, this looks fun. Let's do that. There's a lot more of that going on, which is exciting. And I think it's very beneficial that we have these conversations, have these dialogues, have these interactions, because there's still a very large chunk of people who feel lost, who aren't vocal, who aren't ready to stand up and say, hey, I have needs that aren't being. It's the great thing about blessings is that they're perpetual. Blessings bless. You can be the blessing in somebody else's life and never realize it. And you never know how you can affect someone else's life. And somebody seeing you celebrate something, somebody seeing you be successful about something, either they're going to get elevated with you and be excited and happy, like, oh, wow, she did something cool. Awesome. Yay, I'm happy for her. And that will genuinely make them happy, which excites and motivates them to be happy and do things for themselves, or it'll trigger them. And keep in mind, if you get triggered about something or somebody, the world is your mirror. It's asking you to say, wait, why am I triggered by that? What about that is showing me what's possible for me? Or what about that is showing me what I'm actually not happy about with myself, what I'm not doing, what I could be doing? There's always an answer in that. So lean into that feeling. And okay, so you don't want to make other people feel bad. Guess what? You're not responsible for other people's feelings. And if you are putting good out there in the world, you can't make other people feel bad. It's literally impossible if you are putting good out there in the world to make others feel bad. If they feel bad, they're dealing with something else. Now, that's totally different than if you're just like, ha, 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 I did this and you didn't. Or ha, 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 I did this. What are you doing? That has a totally different energetic feel to it. And some people might say that as a way of like, I'm saying that with the intention to motivate. You got to know yourself. You got to know your intention. You got to know your way you come across. And you also might want to know your audience. Depending upon how sensitive you want to be. But what it comes down to is a genuine celebration is a genuine celebration. If you guys want to have a conversation about this, we can get into it. You can message me if you want to go into, well, where does the line cross between celebrating and bragging? And even bragging, a little bit of bragging is actually okay. It's when you are taking shots of Comparschlager, when you're comparing me versus you or me versus that. And you know what? The best form of comparison, if you are going to compare, is me today versus me yesterday. Am I still here? Great. I kept going. I progressed. I made it one more day. Awesome. That's it. So I really encourage you guys that are watching today to go ahead and let's type in something that you can celebrate today. Let's type in a win. That's what I should be calling it, Win Wednesdays, right? So let's talk about what's working for you. And then let's also type in the comments and talk about what's not working for you. Because once we can identify what isn't working, somebody else in the community, not necessarily me, but somebody else might have a solution to like, hey, I was having the same issue and I came across this and this has actually worked for me. Maybe it'll work for you. Maybe not, but maybe it will. This is where, yes, we are in physical isolation, but we don't have to be in intellectual or isolation. This is where we are required to come together for survival. We need each other. And so I think it's imperative that we brainstorm and we swap ideas and really show each other just how much we can be available and help each other out. Speaking of be available, holding space for people. That's what I do. I'm available. And that's why I do these morning sessions is to, I enjoy getting up early, but, I also enjoy getting up, I enjoy my sleeping in. And I do this so that I can hold space for you guys. and to maximize my day. So yes, I've got more minutes in the day now, just like you guys do, than I had before. And I'm still waking up at 4:30 in the morning so I can have even more minutes in the day to do all the things. And I'm still busy during the day. That being said, what do I do during the day? I hold space for you guys. I do what I call clarity calls, where I hop on the phone for about a half an hour to an hour with total strangers, and we have conversations about what is working, what is not working, what are your goals, what are you looking to do. That's what I do with my time. And I am so happy, and I invite you to send me a message so that I can make time for you as well. I am a coach. I specialize in helping people fall in love with themselves. And really the way that shows up for you is if there's something that you would like to achieve, a goal that you have in mind, or something that you were just so ready to be done with, something that you've been burdening yourself with forever and you're just ready to just not deal with anymore, I help you figure out what that is and how to get rid of it and achieve your goals in the process, falling in love with yourself. It's a beautiful thing. And so I help, every time I work with somebody, I have two goals, and you're always going to leave with an actionable item. Just like if you've been watching my videos, you always get one tangible thing that as soon as we get off this video, as soon as we get off this call, you are able to go right ahead and do this thing and put into place actionable steps that are going to help you attain or remove whatever it is that you're looking to do. And you're also, so you're going to have that homework, and you're also going to have a breakthrough. You're going to have something that's like, I never thought of it that way. Oh, awesome. Thanks, Arthur. Thanks for being here. So that's what I do. So if you are interested, or you know somebody who's kind of going through an issue and could use just a sounding board or a different shift in perspective or somebody to talk to, send me a message. We'll schedule you a clarity call. It's totally free, and I'll hold space for you. Speaking of that, because I am looking to maximize my time in the day for you to help and be of service to as many people as possible, any of the packages, should you choose to purchase, I am doing a buy one, give one. So self-development can be fun, but it can also be very difficult. And it's so much easier and more enjoyable if you have someone else that you know is along for the ride. And so in an effort to help as many people as possible, I am also offering whatever package you decide to go with. You can donate that same exact package, so you get to do it and you can pass that along to somebody else. So I've been having a lot of people purchase my 90-day package, which is, all of my packages are massively discounted right now. And they've been purchasing my 90-day package. So they've got 3 months with me working one-on-one, and they are gifting a 3-month package to somebody else as well. So not just one person is changing their life, but now 2 people are changing their lives at a time with this at a massive discount. So I'm really excited to be helping people with their goals change their lives and help bless other people to change their lives at an exponential rate. So if you have somebody in mind who, again, is having a difficult time, has a goal that they'd like to achieve, please send me a message. We'll go ahead, and at the very least, we'll do a free clarity call and figure out like how we can best serve each other and put an actionable plan together, a success plan to get there. And then we will work on how we can, take action and be the blessing in someone's life. One more thing while we're on the subject, if you are curious on how this works, I have 2 free I call them webinars, but 2 free group coaching calls this Thursday. I've got a morning session, Pacific Standard Time, at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and then an afternoon session at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you're on the East Coast, that's going to look like 2 and 7 p.m. And they're totally free, but you do have to send me your email address so that I can send you the link, because it's not going to be on social media. So if you are curious to see how this works when I do one-on-one coaching, yes, this is going to be in a group setting, but send me a message. We'll get you linked up with that. And again, it's a really good thing, especially if you know somebody who's kind of like, I'm kind of going through this. I don't really know. This is a great opportunity for them to get their questions answered. And I know it's a lot easier to talk to somebody that you don't even really know. So send them my way. this Thursday, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You do have to be registered, so you do need to send me your email to get in on that. Okay, so while I'm still waiting for you guys to type in and let me know what's working and what's not working, since that's what's working, what's not working Wednesday, let's dive in to picking up where we left off yesterday. But first, water. Okay. So we were talking about character, and here is the quote of the day. This is by Albert Hubbard. Character is the result of two things: mental attitude and the way we spend our time. Now, before we talked about, character being like, what someone would do if the world didn't find out what you did. And so that attributes to, the way you spend your time, whether people are watching or not. And your mental attitude. Again, how you think about thinking. Thoughts become things. So it's, what you do with your actions, how you spend your time, and the way you think about things. You can spend your time in a way that is not aligned with the thoughts you're thinking, right? We're all pretty much at some point in our lives living proof of that. But when we are aligned and our thoughts and our words and our actions are all corresponding, that's when we're in the state of flow. That's when things seem to go our way because we're acting in accordance with what we're designed for, who we are, how we are supposed to operate. But when we're out of alignment, we're thinking things, but we're saying another, and we're doing something totally different. We're like scattered, right? And so no wonder things are not going the way we would like them to go because we've got moving pieces in all different places. Like you have to, like with a vehicle, a wheel alignment, your fuel efficiency, your gas, it's not working out. You're wasting gas if you're spending all this energy like trying to get everything to go the way you want it to go. No, once it's all in alignment, then you can go smoothly and everything works efficiently. So your character is pretty much the summation of all of that. And to have a solid character, it's all in a way neatly packaged. It's all intact and it's got a tune-up, right? It's decently aligned. It's well oiled. It's a properly working machine. And we get off balance, which is why we have to have these tune-ups, which is why these exercises that I'm giving you will help get you there. So before we jump into those exercises, here's another affirmation for the week, for the day. I always do what I require to show up as my best self. I always do what I require to show up as my best self. So what is that for you? What is a requirement for you to be you at your best self? Do you even know? Do you even know what your best self is? What that could be? So, depending upon where you are, this may require some additional deep contemplation. So, start thinking back. When did I feel my absolute best? Little puppy over here. Hi, Dahlia. Good morning. Can you say good morning to the Quarantine Network? So when was I like on top of the world? When did I feel awesome? What was life like for me? What were things that I was doing? Or was it just a coincidence? it's when you can start to break down, okay, well, and this is what scientists do. Like, whoa, wait, how do we produce these amazing results and how do we reproduce these amazing results? It's what athletes do. How did we get that, like, that amazing game, right? So go back to, we've all had it, even if it's been a long time. And no, you can't blame it on, oh, that was just because I was younger, I was in my prime, or, oh, that was this. Yes, external factors do play a part in it, but give yourself some credit. You played a part in it too. So, that being said, what were some of the things going on? What were some of the things that you were doing? What were some of the things that you were surrounded by? What was going on in the time that you were just on top of the world, things were rocking? So go back and look at that. And then also think about the things that you think you have this idea or knowing that you would require for you to show up optimally. Maybe you've never had it, but you just have it in your head like, no, I just know that if I had this thing, that it would, like, everything would just flow smoothly for me. Like, if I just had this. Now, we're not talking about like, oh, if I just had $1 million, then I would show up as my best self. No. But what do you require? Adequate sleep, proper nutrition, proper exercise, proper hygienic care, self-love, loving relationships, loving friendships, healthy oxygen, a beautiful, appealing, friendly environment, a calm environment, meditation, affirmations. Start thinking about those kinds of things. Yes, financial security can very well be a requirement. Being a millionaire, maybe not. And even for some of us, maybe financial security might not be a requirement for you to show up as your best self. Do you need money to be a pleasant person? No. And for many of us, this time is proof of that. It is putting us to the test of, yeah, this is putting those marriage vows to the test, right? For richer or poor. People are being faced with, oh, this is what that's like. And then there's some people who are just like, oh, you've never been poor. Welcome to my world. Like, I've seen those memes. And sadly, they're not even memes. I've seen friends post them like, oh, you've never had to eat ramen for a month straight. Oh, now you know what it's like. College life, right? So, yes, this is an affirmation. I always do what I require to show up as my best self. Say that to yourself daily. Even if you don't know exactly what that list is, but then also take some time to make a list of that out, to really say like, okay, well, what is it that I do require to show up as my best self? Not things that would be nice, gee, it would be nice if, but no, really, what are things that I do require? Like, when I have been just rocking it, what were the things that I had? Or what are things that I do require? And it's important that you use the language require instead of need or want, because remember from videos before, the language matters, and need and want are based in lack. And when you are having an affirmation, you are reinforcing your beliefs, right? Practice doesn't make perfect, practice makes permanent. And so when you are restating this to yourself, which is the point of an affirmation, is to restate it, to affirm, affix, to install, you are making it your truth. And it ought to be your truth that you always do what is required of you for you to be your best you. And if you don't know what's required of you to be your best you have to find that out. Because how can you be your best you if you don't know how to be your best you? And the sad reality is that most people have no idea. Most people live their entire lives without knowing what they're even close to being capable of. Grant Cardone, multi-billionaire, still talks about how he has no idea what his potential is. Scientists say we only use 26% of our brains. 26%. Now that's the average human. I'm sure that there are other people in this world that use a larger percentage of that, but still, we don't even come close to half of our brain. We're barely at a quarter. And so while there are people who use more than a quarter of their brain, they still probably don't even come close to half of their brain, which means we have so much untapped potential. The average human has, and that's the exciting part. Like, I'm not saying this to depress you. That's actually the exciting news. We have so much more available to us than we've ever even realized. And so the chances of us having taken the time to know what we need, to know what is required of us to be our best selves, to even have experienced what our best self is, the chances of us having actualized that are so freaking slim that it's exciting to know that, oh my gosh, we have the opportunity, the ability, the necessity to figure this out. And the gift of all these life circumstances right now is that we can figure this out. We've got the time to say, all right, let me try 200 different meditations and find out what works for me. Let me try a billion different workouts and see what works for me. Let me try a bunch of different pickup lines and see which one works for me. Let me try a bunch of different online classes or different outfits or hairstyles. Like, you have the time to see what helps you feel your best. And I know that's not a maybe a caveat. I mean, I know that comes with, it's a little bit, yes, you've got the time, the opportunity, but then on the flip side, there's also, well, yeah, there's also limitations. Guys, there's limitations in life, like that. But choose to see what it is and work with it as best you can, or choose to ignore the limitations. I'm not saying choose to ignore quarantine and just go about life as normal. That aggravates the crap out of me. What I'm saying is choose to, hey, I can imagine. I've got the time and space. If there were no limitations, what could I do? And get creative within that. You know, like I gave a talk the other day, get a bigger fishbowl. Because I promise, whatever mental space you're in right now, you have room for a bigger one. Whatever physical constraint you're in right now, I promise you have room for a bigger one. If you're only using 26% of your brain, you have access to more of it. So even though you might not have access to the bar or the restaurant or your friend's place to go hang out, or the workshop to go create this new product that you just had the idea, you have access to other resources. So this is the time to gift yourself, to get creative. So many things. I've been watching webinars and stuff about so many incredible things were born out of recessions. We're born out of, they say necessity is the mother of all invention. Pinterest and was it Facebook or I think Instagram actually were born out of one of the last recessions, and they're huge, obviously. And, they were thought up and emerged. And, it doesn't take a healthy economy. It doesn't take a healthy environment for something to be successful. Certain things, perhaps, but it doesn't mean that it can't be building and waiting and waiting and waiting. And then as soon as that green light is lit, just go. So start thinking, what is it you require to show up as your best self? And I promise, no matter what kind of restrictions are in your city, in your physical limitations, in your current mental condition, in whatever it is you've got going on for you, I promise you have the capacity for more. So start thinking about what is required of you. What do you require of you to show up as your best self? And hold yourself to that standard, and you will achieve it. And you will achieve miracles. You will draw miracles to you. And that, my friends, is how you can find your true grit, to find your real true character. That, my friends, is what defines you. So are you ready to develop that? All right. So grab your journals, because now we're going to get into character development. And it's going to be where there's 10 different sections of how you're going to go about this. And each of the section has 3 parts to it. And each of these 3 parts is all the same. So, and I like to have you attempt to list 5 for each of these 3 sections. So category 1 of 10 is you're going to look at your personal development. This thing, what we're doing here, this is personal development. And each of the categories is, you're going to look at, where are you now? Where are you going? And how are you going to get there? Now, how are you going to get there? I'm going to toss in a 4th category for these. Who can help me? So you're getting a bonus from what my 90-day clients have, because they have the three categories. So I'm just adding in a 4th category. So where am I currently? Where am I going? Because if you don't have a destination, you're going to get somewhere. It might not be where you want to go. And when you do figure out where you want to go, you might not get there for a while. How are you going to get there, and who can help you get there? So 4 things. And strive for at least 5 in each of these categories. So basically at least 20 things total. So yes, if we're doing the math, you're going to write down 200 things today. So category 1, personal development. At least 5 things in the category of personal development. Where am I now? Where am I going? How am I going to get there? And who can help me get there? For example, in the arena of personal development, where am I now? I never heard of personal development whatsoever. Didn't even know. I'm watching this video with this chick right now, and I didn't even know I was watching a personal development video, but she just told me it was a personal development video. So I guess I'm watching a personal development video, and I'm doing a personal development exercise. So that's a step. Where am I going? Well, she's intrigued me enough, so I guess I'm going to do the work. So I guess I'm just going to see where this takes me. Actually, I did have this other thing that I've been wanting to work on, And I suppose my anger issues have been getting in the way a little bit. So I guess I could work on that. See how this goes? How will I get there? Well, I'm going to give this exercise a chance. So I'm going to do this. And who can help me? Well, I guess I can tune in and watch some more of her videos. She's got a YouTube channel I can subscribe to and binge watch some of those videos. I can also sign up for one of her free clarity call sessions. I can also go to that free group coaching. Who can help me? Well, I guess she can help me. I can actually, my best friend, I can confide in them. I can talk to them about it. And I guess, there's this book that I've been wanting to read, and I guess I can look into that author and see if that author has any podcasts or anything like that. So, like, who can you look to? That kind of thing. Category 2 in character development is your health. Where are you now? Where are you going? What are your goals? How are you going to get there? And who can help you? Where are you now? I am at this weight, at this BMI. I am or am not a smoker. I drink or do not drink, or I have X amount of drinks. This and this. Where am I going? I would like to cut my drinking down to this. I would like to not smoke. I would like to transition to just vaping, blah, 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 blah. I would like to be at this weight. I would like to run X amount of times a day. I would like to run a marathon. I would like to da, da, da. How will I get there? Well, I can only have X amount of cigarettes a day. Like, give myself a quota, that's it. I can start by going for a 10-minute walk every single day. I can start doing X amount of push-ups or crunches. I can subscribe to the fitness channels on Quarantine Network. Those are free. I can reach out and have an accountability partner, and maybe we can video chat and work out together. That's how I can get there. And also, who can help me? I can have an accountability partner. I can reach out to the fitness instructors on TQN and say, hey, I'd like to sign up for one of your programs. I can join I can sign up for a personal trainer, a virtual personal trainer, Beachbody. I can, have an accountability partner. I can start reading fitness magazines or blogs. Who else can I reach out to that can keep me accountable, that can give me tips? Can I read blogs? Can I watch videos? Who can help me? So, and it's funny because 5 is a good number, because with other exercises that I do, it's good to brainstorm and just go through. And if you do catch yourself in this exercise going through and writing a lot of things, while that's exciting, you want to go back through and circle back to 3 to 5 things, because you are creating an action plan for yourself. And if you have a laundry list of things, you're going to get overwhelmed and you're not going to do them. You're going to paralyze yourself and do none of the things. But if you have a list of 3 to 5 things, 3 to 5 people, 3 to 5 ways of how you're going to get there, and 3 to 5 things of where you're going to go, and even 3 to 5 things of where you are now, it's easier. It's bite-sized, digestible chunks. So if you do find yourself writing, go back, circle your top 3 to 5 goals, current things that are like the main pressing points, and the top things that you can do that are really going to make the biggest difference, and the top people that can really make the big difference and really help you. Those are the ones you're going to focus on, because anything else is going to be least effective, and it's just going to be extra noise. And I know for me personally, I like the idea of like all the things, and then in reality, all the things becomes overwhelming and too much, and I can tune them out, right? Especially in this day and age, you get around all the ads, especially if you're in a big city, and like New York, LA, Vegas. I've lived in all three of them, and it's like billboards and signs. It's just white noise to me. Like nothing stands out, and it's like online ads, they just don't work anymore. You're just like, there, whatever. Like, I don't see it. Like, you have to really cut through the noise to make a difference, to be seen, to be heard. And it's the same thing. It's going to happen with you. You just get overwhelmed and none of it works. Your brain just tunes it out. So 3 to 5. So go ahead. You can have a brainstorming session. That's totally fine, but go back, revise 3 to 5. And I mean that for all 4 categories, for all 10 of these character development blocks. So number 3, spiritual. Where am I now? Do I subscribe to a religion? Do I have no religion? Am I just kind of getting into something? I've got questions about this. I'm curious about that. Where am I going? Not really sure. I'm more inclined on this. I've got 1 foot here, 1 foot there. Starting to lose faith in this. Where would I like to be? What would be ideal for me? Does it even exist? I don't know. Is this a thing? How will I get there? In this section, especially with spirituality and some of the other ones that are coming up, don't be super attached to this, because the beautiful thing about life is that you don't have to know the how to get to the goal. Having an idea so that you can take a step forward, it's that forward momentum, right? If you don't take a step forward, you don't have any inertia to propel you to continue to go forward. But as long as you take a step forward, you've got that action, you've got that little step, so that the next step becomes easier and easier and easier. But if you just stand there in indecision, you're not moving. And so it's like, you got to get that, you got to start the engine, you got to warm it up to be able to go anywhere than just standing still. So you don't want to get super attached to the how. This is just to kind of like grease the gears up, get it moving. So it's okay if what you think is the way to get it to work doesn't actually get it to work. It's okay if it starts going in this direction and then, actually it's going in this direction. It's totally fine. It's the fact that you're putting in the effort. You're showing the universe like, okay, I am going to get up off the couch. I am going to put the potato chips back in the cupboard. I am going to do something. Like, you're showing the world that, okay, I am going to try. Let's go. I'm going to, put in my effort so you can come in and show me like, oh, no, actually, we're going to do it this way. Thank you. You know what? Now we're going to, now that I see that you're trying, now I can come and help you. So as far as spirituality goes, how are you going to get to wherever you want to go? Simply asking, simply saying, I don't know. Let's see. I can look up some videos, let me watch, Jay Shetty's interesting. Or maybe, I always actually wondered, not saying that I subscribe to this religion or this denomination, but this didn't ever make any sense to me. What does this actually mean? And keeping an open mind, like, okay, just how will I get there? Let me find out a question. And then who can help me get there? Well, I can read this book. I can read this. I can Google this. I can ask this person. I know this person seems to know a lot about this, or at least this person can refer me. Number 4, financial. Get real, guys. Where am I now? Do I still have income? If so, how much? Did I have to file for unemployment for the first time in my entire life? What does that look like? Am I still getting paid? Am I not affected whatsoever? Where am I going? I don't know. Unacceptable. Where am I going? I'm getting another job. I'm going to earn 6 figures this year. I am going to blah, blah, blah. Keep in mind for all of these categories, this where am I going? I didn't give you a time frame of where am I going in the next 90 days? Where am I going tomorrow? Where am I going in a year? What's your goal? If you want to put a time frame on it, that's up to you. But the bigger the dream, shoot for the stars. Or shoot for the moon. If you miss, you'll likely just land among the stars. But if you shoot for the stars, chances are you'll miss and you'll fall back down to earth. And if your goal is to get to the moon, why would you shoot for just the stars? So put it out there. And something I've learned recently is know your goal. If it really isn't the moon, it's okay to not shoot for the moon. Maybe if your goal is to get to the moon eventually, but right now your goal really is the stars, okay. It's okay. Not everyone wants to be a millionaire. That's okay. Know where you're going. Shoot for that. But don't set your goals too low that you'll risk achieving them and then not have a new goal to set. Does that make sense? You want your goals to be slightly out of reach so that you'll work a little extra harder, because then you'll surprise yourself no matter what. You're setting an unrealistic goal, but not too unrealistic that it can't be achieved during this lifetime. So where are you going with your finances? No more debt, right? Being able to take care of other people. Whatever your dreams are. How are you going to get there? What's the action plan? Are you switching careers? Are you job hunting right now? Are you da-da-da-da-da? Who can help you? Who do you know that can teach you a thing or two? Who do you know that can help you manage your finances? Who can you start watching and learning from? Who can you train with? Who is hiring right now? Who can you mentor from? Next category, career. Logical next step, right? Where are you now? Where are you going? Do you have a career? Or are you a gigger? Do you go from job to job? Did you have a career? Is your career uncertain right now? Where are you going? New career? Same career? Different company within your career? How will you get there? Connections? Job hunting? LinkedIn, Indeed? Introducing yourself? Starting your own? And if so, how? Hoofing it? Are you, this is the question all of us entrepreneurs ask, right? Like, how are you going to do it? Social media marketing. Are you going to do like Dollar Shave Club and Squatty Potty type marketing, or MLM, or, like, how are you going to get to the next stage in your career? Back to school, additional training, networking, what's next for you? And who can help you? Who do you know? LinkedIn, who can introduce you to the next person, who can teach you something additional, who can brainstorm with you. Next category, education and hobbies. Where are you now? Do you have a degree? Do you not have a degree? Do you have a certification? Are there things that you enjoy doing? Do you do just for fun? Not every hobby has to be turned into a monetization gig. It can be just something for fun. I recently, well, in part to my car accident, but even prior to that, I was thinking, I used to love doing jigsaw puzzles. I kind of miss doing jigsaw puzzles. I would like to do them. Well, guess what? I'm such a powerful manifester. I never got around to just like, hey, I should go pick up a jigsaw puzzle. Well, my car accident and the brain injury necessitated that I do jigsaw puzzles so that I can keep my brain active, so that I can regenerate the brain cells that were lost. So now I do jigsaw puzzles. So what was once a hobby is now a mandatory hobby. Like, what are some hobbies like roller skating or crafting? Do you have anything like that? Has there been anything that you've been curious about it? Or flip side, is there something that you've been monetizing or have been curious about monetizing that, hey, hold the phone, maybe you just want to do? Not everything has to be monetized. And that's maybe an unpopular opinion that has been around lately, but where are you at right now? Where would you like to go? And hey, if you want to monetize it, more power to you, especially in the small business economy right now. We could use it. We want to support it. So do you want to start a small business? Do you want to just start a new hobby, a coin collector? Like, what would you like to do? And how are you going to get there? Would you like more education? Would you like to go back and get your GED? Would you like to go and get a certification in this? Would you like to learn about philosophy? Okay, how are you going to get there? Are you going to join a certification program online? Are you going to go to maybe not go to the library, but read some online books, order some books? Who can help you? Who's that smart friend that you can maybe borrow some books from, or start having these intellectual conversations and learn from, or who can show you a new skill or teach you or introduce you to a new thing? A couple more before we wrap up. I'm going to fly through them real quickly. Social life. Where are you now? Where are you going? How will you get there? You know what? 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll pick back up on these because that is my time and they do deserve a little extra TLC. So we'll pick back up on those tomorrow, and then we will go into the next thing. So if you guys have any other questions, I am available. Again, reach out and we can schedule that clarity call to totally free to help you put together your success plan. And it is Wednesday, so I will be back for your midday mindset at 11:05 this morning Pacific Standard Time, so 2:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'll do that. I will pick back up on your character development for the midday mindset shift because that'll be just enough time to get through that. So stay tuned. In like 4 hours, I will be back and we will pick back up on your character development for the midday mindset shift. Thank you guys so much for being here. And as always, cough in your elbow, wash your hands, and stay home. Love y'all.